Episode 15, Sneaking In. Although the concierge was hesitant to begin with in the face of Natalie's insistence, he eventually gave in. She had managed to get into the hotel. Secretly, she heaved a sigh of relief. "Are you sure you want to be a waitress?" The hotel manager looked at her from head to toe. His tone was filled with suspicion. The reason why he asked this was because Natalie looked too elegant, so it was a pity for her to become a simple waitress. Seeing his doubt, she immediately put on a sincere expression and said reassuringly, "Yes, I do." Afraid that he would not believe her, she told him about her work experience abroad. "I was a waitress in a hotel while I was overseas. I've been through all sorts of hardships, but you can rest assured that I will not disappoint you." After she had been sent abroad, she had worked very hard in that first year in order to survive, especially during the winter when she was still pregnant. She would never forget the pain. The manager was impressed. He had thought she was just a young girl. He hadn't thought she'd been through so much. He couldn't help but feel a whole new level of respect for her, and he was also very satisfied with her experience. Without saying anything else, he offered her the job. "All right, you can come to work tomorrow." Natalie almost cheered, but instead, she coughed lightly to cover her excitement and thanked him over and over again. "Work hard. There's a lot of room for promotion here." He patted her shoulder. "Thank you." She looked around and asked tentatively, "Can I look around the hotel today?" He looked at her doubtfully. "I want to familiarize myself with the place first, so I can get to work faster when I come back tomorrow," she explained with a smile. When the manager heard her reasoning, he liked her even more. It was very rare for an employee to be so enthusiastic about their work. "All right, I'll find someone to show you around." He immediately called for a girl around Natalie's age. "Susan, this is our new waitress. Show her around and help her get familiar with the hotel." "Understood, sir." Susan smiled sweetly at Natalie, who quickly returned the smile. Natalie started thinking about ways to save her child. "Natalie," the manager said. Natalie was stunned for a moment before she realized that he was talking to her. "Yes, sir?" "The people staying on the top floor of this hotel are rich and powerful. You can't afford to offend them, so you must be careful." "Yes, sir," Natalie and Susan answered in unison. Then they looked at each other and smiled. After giving his instructions, the manager told Susan to find a set of work clothes for Natalie. When she started work properly tomorrow, he would order another set for her. When she had finished changing into her work clothes, Susan showed Natalie around the hotel, floor by floor. She was a very passionate and cheerful girl. On every floor they went to, she explained about it in great detail. She was very eager to tell Natalie everything she knew. "The top floor of the hotel is the presidential suite, and the rest are business suites. The hotel is also equipped with swimming pools, bars, and other entertainment facilities." While Susan talked enthusiastically, Natalie seemed distracted. Her mind was filled with thoughts of how to find the hotel's surveillance room. That way, she could find out where Liam was. Seeing that she was a little preoccupied, Susan asked with concern, "Natalie, are you all right?" Natalie was startled for a moment before she shook her head with a smile. "It's nothing." Susan did not probe any further, but only said, "Then let's go upstairs and take a look." Natalie couldn't waste any more time. She asked casually, "Where's the surveillance room?" Susan stopped, turned around, and looked at her with a puzzled expression. "Why do you want to know?" Natalie laughed inwardly and shrugged. "I'm just asking. After all, it's the heart of the hotel. If there's an emergency or something, it would be useful to know where it is." "I see." Susan nodded her head, not doubting her at all. She told her right away which floor the surveillance room was on and also how to get there. Natalie wrote it down and smiled brightly. "Thank you. You're very kind, explaining everything to me so clearly." "It's nothing. We'll be colleagues soon. It's only right for us to take care of each other." Seeing how sincerely Susan was smiling, Natalie couldn't help but feel a little sorry for her. She apologized to her in her heart. Now she knew where the surveillance room was. She didn't want to continue with the tour of the hotel, so she found an excuse and went to the bathroom. By the time Bryce finished eating with his parents, it was already dark outside. Originally, he had wanted to accompany them home, but he had an emergency video conference to attend, so he told them to leave without him and decided to stay at the hotel. The hotel kept a room for him all year round. After the video conference ended, Bryce heaved a long sigh of relief. He raised his hand, took off his tie, and threw it aside. Then he got up and walked into the bathroom. Natalie sneaked up to the floor where the surveillance room was, then followed Susan's instructions to find it. But she had not expected the hotel to be so big. There were several corridors, and it did not take long for her to get lost. She couldn't tell which direction she was going in, let alone how to find the surveillance room. Helpless, she could only search slowly and hope that she would find it. After searching for a long time, she walked past an elevator. As she passed, the door opened with a ding sound. She quickly turned around and pretended to be looking for something. Out of the corner of her eye, she noticed someone coming out of the elevator. When she saw who it was, her eyes widened. How could she have run into Cheryl and Nick? Please don't let them see me, she thought to herself, and lowered her head even further. Thankfully, she was wearing the clothes of a hotel attendant, so Cheryl walked past her without even looking. After they had gone, Natalie looked at the elevator. Her thin eyebrows creased. Up on the highest floor was the presidential suite. If they had come down, did that mean Liam was up there? Her spirits lifted at this possibility. She dashed to a nearby staircase and began to climb. It took almost no effort to reach the top floor, and she soon found a suspicious-looking room. There were 2 tall, black-clothed men standing at the door, bodyguards. Liam had to be in that room.
Full story is available at novelpalace.com. Click the link in the comment section to get it free.